Studies suggest that women are 5 times more likely to develop a hypothyroid disease condition over males. So what really are hypothyroid disorders? I spoke to Dr. Bolanle Okonowo from the Diabetes and Metabolism Division of the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, and Goriola Erogbogbo, who is the founder of the Layi Erogbogbo Foundation, to understand the impact of thyroid disorders in Nigeria.
Thyroid disorders are problems affecting the thyroid gland. And those problems that affect the thyroid gland can actually be from either the thyroid gland under-functioning or over-functioning, or because of iodine deficiency in the diet. In fact, majority of the problems that affect the thyroid gland is basically due to iodine deficiency. So when these problems affect the thyroid gland can become enlarged and big and becomes visible to people around, and at that point, you call it goiter. Goiter is just an enlargement of the thyroid gland.
Okay, Goriola, I know you have a foundation who is looking into this. Why thyroid though? Why thyroid disorders? Why did you pick that?
Okay, thank you. In 2002, my dad passed away. He had a thyroid disease, goiter. So my dad did a surgery, and just 2 days after the surgery, he died of complications of the thyroid surgery. So we decided over time that it was good for us to do something about this disease, create awareness about it, and also intervene, look for people who have developed this goiter disease and see how we can help them.
So what's your scope like for the foundation? What do you plan to reach?
Okay, so we've started in Lagos, basically, and we've started creating awareness. We've done a couple of school tours, and we had an event on World Thyroid Day where we sensitized about 500 students about causes and symptoms of the disease. We were able to move from Lagos to Ibadan, from Nigeria, go to Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, and create awareness majorly, and see how we can partner with local hospitals in those countries as well to reduce endocrine disease in Africa.
Okay, Dr. Bolanle, I would like you to just give me a sense of some of the symptoms and then dwell on the causes.
Yes. As I said, that a majority of the causes of thyroid problem is actually due to the deficiency in the diet. It can also be due to the autoimmune that the body fighting itself, and it can also be due to some familiar. It's been found that some cancers runs in the family from cancer of the thyroid gland. So this thyroid disorder can present in any way. It can, if it's just due to the enlargement of the gland from deficiency in the diet, the gland can just be enlarged, and depending on how big it is, it can cause some obstruction to food intake. The person is eating and the person has difficulty with swallowing. The person can have a difficulty with breathing because of the thyroid gland obstructing the airway, because the thyroid gland is at the lower part of the neck and has some relations. It's related to the food tract, the tract where the breathing occurs, the trachea, and the food tract, which is the esophagus. So when this gland is so enlarged, it can compress on those structures and cause difficulty with swallowing, difficulty with breathing, and even change in their voices. So they can, if it's due to hyperthyroidism, because hyperthyroidism means that the gland is over-functioning, the patient can present with heat intolerance, excessive sweating, weight loss despite good appetite. Also, the patient can also, have increased bowel movement. Normally, maybe the patient moves the bowel once in a day. It can now become 3 to 4 times in a day. Some even present with almost 10 times in a day, to which they've been evaluated and, screened for HIV, thinking that what they have is HIV because of the marked weight reduction. So also it can make the heart race. But when the thyroid gland is under functioning, the patient becomes on the big side. It's like the opposite of the hyper.
Okay.
So the patient becomes on the big side, sleeps more, slow in mental, slow in reasoning, and the person has a cold intolerance. As if the person is in this room, the person will actually be shivering.
I was going through some research on this, and I saw that women are more susceptible in this. Why is that?
Yes, normally for men and females, the females has an increased bigger thyroid gland compared to men normally. And again, thyroid gland has been known to increase in some physiological condition, like when the woman is menstruating and lactating, or in pregnancy, it can, be increased because of the increased metabolism that is required in that. But it's just physiological. It's not something that should be a big problem to which it reverses on its own subsequently after. It just enlarges a little bit. So women generally are more prone to these thyroid problems compared to men.
Mr. Goriola, I would like you to just give me a sense of, I know you said you've been raising awareness on this course and all that. Are we to expect any partnerships from you from other organizations? Because I'm trying to imagine that this is going to be quite a huge challenge to tackle alone for your foundation.
Yeah, thank you very much. So we've been talking to Lagos State Ministry of Health just to start on the ground level, see what they've been working on and see how we can partner with them. So they've also done these surgeries about 2 years ago, but there's still a lot of people still wanting these surgeries. So from Lagos State Ministry of Health, we're looking at partnering with LASSO too, we're looking at partnering with LUTS too, and take it on to, WHO, go to, big foundations who do things in Africa. That's why we can also speak to MTN Foundation, speak to Dangote Salt, because there are some of the people that we need on board, because let's say Dangote Salt produces like iodized salt, and we want to see, some sort of partnership, how we can also communicate that down to people, how they need to make sure that their salts are, their intake are iodized and all that stuff.
Coming back to you, Doctor, you mentioned a part I was going to talk about, the iodized salt. How much of an impact would only that do across the nation?
Yes, because most times the iodized supplementation, the iodine deficiency is mainly from our diet. So, and most of our soil, the water, especially in mountainous region, areas that have experienced flooding before, there is deficiency of iodine in the salt. So there's not, all the plants, all the things that grows from it is iodine deficient. And also the source of water in those mountainous regions, there is deficiency of iodine in it. So as a result, with supplementation with iodized salt, it helps to meet up with the daily requirement of iodine in our food, the daily requirement. Because for men, it's advocated that they should take 100 to 150 microgram per day of iodine. And for women, it's 220 microgram per day. And for pregnant women or lactating mothers, they are to take about 290 microgram per day. So this can be met if all our salt that we use for our cooking. So a patient doesn't have to sort out for a particular food to eat, a particular diet to take, but with that iodized salt, the normal daily requirement is met, and this incidence and prevalence of iodine deficiency is properly tackled.
For one, I would like to look at the less educated people on one side on how to put out a strategy to get in touch with them. On the other hand, I would like to look at how we can get the more tech-savvy generation involved via social media and the rest of them.
Exactly. So just because you mentioned social media and other things. So we on social media, on Instagram, for people who can use that. But I discovered that for the low-level people in the, the poor areas, rural areas, basically some people even think it's some kind of mystical power.
Yes, exactly.
Them down.
So you have to deal
Yes,
with mindset.
yes.
Changing mindset.
Yes,
Exactly.
changing their belief system.
Exactly. We have to change the mindset. Make sure you pass this information. Get doctors to speak to them. Also show people who have gone through this process, either they've removed their thyroid, or how you can treat this so that you can change their mindset basically. And for the also we've been getting emails and texts, even on social media too. For instance, Instagram, people will just send a DM, hey, I noticed my neck has been swelling, blah, 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 blah. And for no reason, some people will just disclose all what they've been going through. And, they've probably been unhappy for a long time. And they found people who are ready to listen to them on that specific disease. So in the coming months, we hope to, create more awareness, make sure we disseminate information to the poor areas, the rich areas, even people, especially women, especially pregnant women. We want to have forums whereby we can speak to women, pregnant women, go to where we will be able to talk to like 5 or 10,000 women, talk to them that, you know, when you're pregnant, make sure you go and check your thyroid, do your thyroid test, just to know your thyroid levels and all that stuff. So it doesn't come.
To round up now, Dr. Bolanle, as a doctor, if you had just one message to pass to people on thyroid to get to raise awareness, to get people to be more proactive on how to do this, what would that be?
Yeah, that will be that people should examine their neck. You know, most people come into the hospital after the thyroid gland has become so big. You know, most people look at their faces in the mirror, but they don't look at their neck. You have to look at your neck, examine your neck. And there is a simple process that won't take you more than 2 minutes to examine this neck. You know, you look at the mirror, you take a sip of water, extend your neck just slightly backwards, and take that sip of water and look at the mirror at your neck. And at the lower part of your neck, below the Adam's apple, when you swallow that water, or you drink the water, and you notice a bulge, then it's likely that your thyroid gland is enlarged, because the thyroid gland shouldn't be visible. So once it's visible, it's enlarged, and it can be from different causes.
That was Dr. Bolanle Okonowo from the Diabetes and Metabolism Division of the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, and Goriola Erogbogbo, who is the founder of the Layi Erogbogbo Foundation.